Hello folks, Jonathan Milam here with a review of a very nice trumpet in just about like new condition. This is a Shires, the first Shires. I have beautiful artwork there on the bell of the Shires, and this is commonly called a 10. I think the full name of it is the TRQ10S. Of course the S is because it is silver. Look at that bright silver plate. This horn is, I believe, in just about as good a condition as any horn I've ever seen. I don't think there's a ding. I don't think there's a ping on it. I'm not even sure there's any polish marks. Just almost new. I'm going to start off. I'm going to use 4 mouthpieces with it. I really compare this somewhat to a Bach Stradivarius 37. I feel like it's got that do-it-all ability, and so I'm going to try and highlight that. I'm going to go through 4 mouthpieces. The last is fairly shallow. See what you could do if you're wanting more of a commercial or lead application, and then a couple that are middle of the road. But the first that I'm going to begin with is a wonderful piece. It's a what is this? It's their, actually the Con Vintage 1 Flugel, but it fits the trumpet, and so you've got kind of a TF, a little bit different than the Reeve C to J, but a little more mainstream to my way of thinking. But we're going to try and, just work on a couple of slow numbers while I've got the deep mouthpieces in, and then we'll move on up, give you a little more of the normal, and perhaps even cutting sound that you might need in some applications. Just lush, isn't it? Lush. Next mouthpiece I'm going to use, it's definitely a deep V. It's Trent Austin's TATF, Trent Austin Trumpet Flugel. But it does have a much more manageable, it's a delightful mouthpiece. I could go on and on about it, and I think I have in one video or two if you want to look back. But much more manageable drill size. I think it's a 24, maybe a 23. And while you can get a nice dark sound on it, you can also take it up above the staff, and I wouldn't want to do it all night, but it performs real well in a large range for the trumpet. Okay, I'll take a moment here, and of course you can go to the Shires website and check this out, but like a Stradivarius, it is a 0.459-inch bore, and like a Strad, the bell is a 4 13/16. The lead pipe, they say, is a 0.345, which is kind of a standard. It's a heavyweight yellow brass lead pipe. Good, feels good. Open and free blowing is what they're looking for. Special tuning slide, which is pretty much, I think, like the Stradivarius, perhaps even a little more D-shaped. Pistons are hand-lapped Monel, or Monel, I don't know how they say that for sure. 2-piece valve casings, standard weight, nickel balusters, so they're getting a little more bite with that. And I noticed also the top and bottom caps are, although they're silver plated, they're nickel again to give you a little more aggressiveness with the sound. I'm thoroughly impressed with the sound. I really think it's very nice. I am paring my horns down though, and just one of those days, I don't need 15 B flat trumpets. At least that's what the wife says. Okay, now I'm going to go to what I would consider much more of a mainstream mouthpiece. This is a Patrick. It's his CR5Z. Actually fairly deep. I wouldn't doubt this is about every bit as deep as a common 3C that a lot of people are using. Slightly tighter backbore, and then I'm going to go to a much shallower piece and see what we can do. Okay, we'll try and tootle around with something a little brisker since we've got the mouthpiece and see how we do. Boy, that's a chorus I hadn't heard in years, and I really should have worked on it a little more. Just thought of it while I was turning my setup on. Simply says, I have no regrets. Great song. Okay, this is again a Patrick. It's a pretty shallow mouthpiece, about as shallow as I can go. And he calls this his CR5ZM. Great, great mouthpieces. And this, with the right player, should give quite a commercial feel. You could probably use it for lead if you're inclined to do that kind of stuff. I'm certainly not a lead player, but we'll try and at least give you an idea of what this nice do-it-all cue can do. Okay, let's see how we're doing. 8 minutes. Tell you what I'm going to do. Just going to play a real quick phrase on this. Going back to the more mainstream CR5Z mouthpiece, little deeper cup. Then I'm going to compare it to a Strad. That, in fact, I've got two 190 Strads here. Hangs pretty well with them to my way of thinking. Just play a chorus with some long tones so you can get an idea of the sound comparison. Sounds good to me. That's the Shires Q, and this is a Strad 190 1B. They call it the commercial. Back to the Q real quickly. Boy, I like that sound. It's dark enough, but I hear something coming through that's just got a little brilliance to it as well. Okay, well. Caught without a tuning slide. Isn't that the way it goes? This is a 190-43, and we'll try that same little chorus phrase, and then we'll go back to the cue. The Bach Stradivarius 190-43, just to compare sound-wise to the cue. And back to the Shires cue. Okay, that takes you up to a high C at least. Gives you an idea what you can do. I'm very impressed. My first Shires, I'm guessing it won't be my last. But this is what they commonly call the cue. Thanks as always for tuning in. Oh, what did we do yesterday? We just put a couple of videos out. Oh, that's right. We did a Carol Brass Giuffretti, comparing that to an Edwards X13. What else did we have? We had a Stomvy USA 27 bell with that, and a Bach 37, and also an Edwards 27. So, oh, what did we do before that? Can't remember. Getting ready to do a binge 3 medium large plus. Look around for them. Love the thumbs up if you'd like to subscribe. We're pushing 300 videos here. Sure would like to get 5,000 followers. I think I've got about 4,000, almost 4,400. So we've got our work cut out for us. Have a great day as always. Take care of yourself. Love the comments. Love the comments. I'm sure there's others that have had cues before me. Shires, horns. Love the thoughts that you've got on them. As always, do take care of yourself and someone that's near you. Until next time.